Hi, Wyn.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm so
Thank
glad to
you.
be with you today.
So let's start it.
I started doing music, from a young age. I've always loved music, and I did, I grew up singing in church and like community choirs and choir in school, and so all those things kind of like helped me build my confidence because I had a lot of insecurities and like I hated the way that I talked. I hated how high my voice was. I had a speech impediment at the time. So like I had a lot of insecurities, but like music kind of was the thing that helped me come into myself. Like it's so much a part of who I am. It's like that it really being involved in these different things. Like I had a teacher in school, Miss McGuire, who I still talk to today. I still talk to a few of my teachers, from because they've just left such a huge impact on me, and like they saw something in me that I didn't see. And so like, or that I was maybe too afraid to like discover, or and so like they pulled it out of me. Like Miss McGuire, she would have me do solos and I would be so scared. But she pushed me kind of out of the nest, and like just that was kind of the beginning stage of kind of like realizing this is what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to be an artist, you know what I mean? And so I've just been now on that journey of self-discovery, trying to figure out what kind of music I wanted to do, what kind of artist that I want to be. And so, and I had to work through a lot of fears, a lot of insecurities, a lot of grief, like in the past few years, because I lost my twin brother in 2020, and but I lost my aunt, who was like a second mom to me too, and I just a lot of loss. I experienced a lot of loss in my family these past few years. But it's back to the music. It's been that thing um, that's kept my head above the water, especially when I think about my brother too, because we grew up listening to the same music, like loving the same. I mean, he was my twin brother too, so like we had a lot of the same similar taste in music and interest, and like so so this is like very much him too, with me on this journey. Even though I don't have him here with me physically, I still feel like he's here with me, just help just even his memory, and just like being able to share this music is just like it's just like it's been a therapeutic thing for me. You know what I mean? Being able to express myself through music.
You feel him like nearby when you listen to your music and when you're composing, especially, right?
Yeah. And even like, for instance, when I watched back my AGT audition, I see my brother. Like when I'm looking at myself up there, I'm like, wow, I didn't realize how much I look like, because we're fraternal twins. Like I just see so much of him in myself now. It's almost like he's here now. You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, so it's been, and music in itself is just it is not for the faint of heart when you're pursuing this career. But I'm so passionate. I love it so much. I was watching this interview from Taylor Swift. I love what she said, because she said a lot of what's happening is what you don't see, like the interviews, the work behind the scenes. But when you love music so much, all of that stuff is worth it. Because a lot of times people just see the videos, they just hear the music, they see the spot. They don't know the work behind that's going on, and the no's you have to get told. You know what I mean? The rejection, all of that stuff. But she said, but when you love this, it's worth it. And that hit me so much, because I've been on that journey. Hell, I'm still on that journey today. But when you love it, it is worth it. It really is.
Especially like when it's about music and wanting to follow this path, it's really hard because there are the challenges that people normally face, and
Yeah.
and I believe it's the same for you, and it's the same for everyone, because when you don't have like someone who gives you a shout out or something quite like that, it gets harder, right?
100%. So And that's why you have to love it. Honestly, when I started seeing a lot of these things happen for me is when I really started loving myself and really started just doing this thing for me first. And not to sound selfish, because I do music for people to hear it, but it gotta be here first, because you're not good to anybody else if you're not loving here, right? And so I had to go on that self-discovery place, and I found that place, and that's when I found, because people know, like your listeners, they can feel authenticity. They can feel and I so love that, to know, because the songs where I really poured out, when I hear the responses from it, it reminds me why I wrote it. It reminds me why I do this thing. And it's because of me being able to have that vulnerability, and then people give it back to me. That is what it's about. You know what I mean?
Something really amazing happened in your life that was Celine Dion, you being her documentary. How was it for you?
I'm on a roller coaster that I don't want to come off of. I am on the ride that I don't want to end. You know what I mean? And again, it has been this up and down thing, but I found my stride. Even before this, I had to keep reminding myself that I do it because I love it. There'll be people who might not like it, and that's okay. I'm doing it for the ones that do. You know what I mean? And then maybe the ones that don't will eventually start to later. So I had to get that in my head. And then that's when I started seeing these things happen like this, like Celine, and that affirmed it, that put that stamp to say, to let me know you're on the right track, Wayne. You got this. And that's what Celine has done. That's what all of this has done for me. And hearing people's stories, it just reminds me that I'm on the right track. And it reminds me all the hard work is paying off. All the no's, like what Taylor would say, it is worth it. Because I love it so much. Because music, I grew up listening to. To know that my music is doing that for people, that is the best reward.
Amazing, right?
It's the best reward.
And what was your inspiration to compose Who I Am? How did you get to such an amazing song and amazing lyrics? And oh my gosh, it's amazing. I mean, your job's amazing. Your career is amazing. Yesterday I was listening to songs, and I was like, oh my gosh, I knew you through Dancing My Way. And it was like, oh my gosh, he's amazing. Yes. And I was like, amazing.
Oh, wow.
Then I started listening to it. I listened to Sparrow. I listened to Where Are the Giants. I mean, your voice is awesome. It left me speechless. I mean, seriously. But how was it for you to choose Who I Am? And what are your inspirations? What do you think when you write a song? How do you get inspired?
I get inspired by life, especially lately. I love when you find the right people to write with too. You just kind of find your zone, and so that's what I'm discovering even now. You know what I mean? This album is the evolution of the last one. Still very much me, but even just I'm opening up even more now. I feel more confident in who I am as a writer, as an artist. So I get to now show people that. Then that's what I'm really excited about. And I'm so glad you mentioned Giants. That was one I kind of dug deep on, because it's about not having that fatherly figure or that you always wanted. And that was hard, because I still have a relationship with my dad. But I needed to be able to tell my truth and my story, because it's also about forgiveness too, and I learned that, especially when you see the video, because I have a video coming out of it, so it'll kind of make more sense. But yeah, so and then Run is another one, just all these songs they're my story. They're my story of working 2 jobs, working 2 shifts. I did that. While I was pursuing my artistry, I was working overnight at 2 hotels, rehearsing to move to Dancing My Way, because I don't consider myself a dancer like that. I love to dance, but I said I definitely have to dance in My Way. It's called Dancing My Way. So I had a great choreography, Johnny, and he was a choreographer Johnny, and he was, and so like I remember being out. He lives in LA, so he would send me videos of the dance moves, and I would be in the back room like rehearsing, and then a guest would come, and I would come up to the front sweating like, "Hi, how can I help you?" Like, you know, I was that on that kind of grind, and that's what Run is about too. But still going after my dreams and not giving up, and now to see it pay off in this way has been incredible.
Yeah. But tell me, like, we're getting in our last minutes. Like, I've got like 2 questions. What inspired you to write Who I Am?
Oh yeah. So Who I Am, I wrote it with my good friends Vanessa Campion, Josh Brown Louis, and we were so I was my first time actually meeting Vanessa, but we connected so much right away. She's a huge Celine fan too. Like, we went to the viewing together and cried together and laughed together, and like she's become a really good friend. And so I was so honored to share that moment with her. But when we wrote it, I was just like kind of just throwing, like I was just started putting our notes out, you know, on our phones, and it just started laying ideas down. There was a beautiful flow in that room when we were writing. And so it reminds me, like, because I had so many insecurities as a kid, just things I didn't like about myself that now are my strengths, have become my strengths. The things I hated about, like, I hated my voice. I hated hearing myself talk. I hated hearing, and now everybody wants to hear it. Like, it's kind of crazy how that, you know, and that's what Who I Am is about, is like embracing those things that we even thought were flaws or thought that we didn't like about ourselves, and saying, this is who I am. And it's beautiful. And like, cause now all I want to do is hug that kid. I don't want to be mean to him anymore. You know what I mean? And I finally let him out, and he's flying. You know what I mean? And so I liken it to like when Celine was talking about how her voice took the lead. And the documentary, she talks about her voice and she was along on the ride. Well, I feel like I'm kind of finally in that zone where I'm allowing my voice to lead me. And that's been a really cool realization to me. And that's what the song's about. Just letting that person, you know, loving yourself, letting them out to fly and to be your true self, authentic true self, you know?
And this, you're going to be like an inspiration for many young people and stuff. I'm pretty sure, like, because like you've got.
Thank you so much.
You've got like a brilliant future. To end it up, to pack it all up, can you tell me, like, if you were about to present yourself to someone who is going to listen to your songs for the first time, which ones would you tell them to listen to?
Well, that's hard. See, because one thing that I always loved growing up is finding an album where you could listen to every song all the way through. And that's so when I'm making an album, I always keep that in mind. Like, even now I've learned, even from doing my first album, like, I'm like, I want every song to be like, oh, this is a banger too. Like, you don't want to skip it, right? But I realized that's not always the case. But so if I had to choose from my last album, I love Circles was my first single. It's still one of my favorite songs to sing. I always talk about Circles, like that's the song that I wish that I wrote that I actually did write on. I just love this song so much. It's kind of like an old school vibe, but a new school thing to it. It's like it's for all the lovebirds out there. It's been in a lot of weddings. I've sang it in a few weddings. Like, so Circles, I love. Of course, Dancing My Way. But dancing to the beat of your own drum, finding that freedom. Like I said, I didn't even consider myself a dancer. So I knew I wanted to do it in the video because that's what it's about. A little out of rhythm, but we couldn't care less. You know what I'm saying? Like dancing my way. You know what I mean? Because I be in this house by myself dancing all the time, you know? So I just wanted to kind of open myself up, and that took a lot for me to do that, because like I said, I don't consider myself a dancer, but it was fun. And so those are just a few. Not a Waste is another fun one that I love, and especially the video for that, because we got to go back to my city and film my family for that. It was during the 4th of July too, so it was like a really special moment to have my family. And even though my brother, he had passed already, his son was there, and we got to share a really special moment in the video too. And like, so I love that video and that song a lot. I would recommend those ones, yeah, for sure.
And just to finish it, I hope that I'll have you here by my side, like we're going to talk and no delays. And well, be prepared to
I plan on it.
To receive comments like, come to Brazil, because us Brazilians, we're normally do this. So yeah.
No, I love it. Honestly, they're like, what Brazilian artists have you known a Brazilian artist? And I was like, oh my God, I gotta look. So I've been just deep diving into Brazilian artists, and the diversity of music there is blowing my mind. It is so awesome. And they're on my top countries, Brazil, and my top cities. I'm like, I gotta get there and give this love back, because I'm feeling it. I am so feeling it. And it feels good. You know what I mean? So I gotta come there and give it back.
Listen, to hear it, like really, like thank you.
Thank you, Elaine. I can't wait to meet in person for sure. Absolutely.
Person as well. It will be awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.